For this video, we'll be using synthetic division and graphing to solve polynomial equations. But in this one, we're going to have a multiplicity of 2 in our answer. So the first thing we're going to do in one of these problems is we're going to graph it and see what roots we can find with just looking at the graph. So when I graph this one, when I plug into my y equals, if you want to do that now, pause the video. When I plug it into my calculator, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I graph it, it looks something like this. So I have something between there, and it kind of goes off my screen, and it comes back down, and then it just touches there, and then it comes back up. So it touches right here at the 4. But in this area, I don't know exactly where it's touching. So, or where it goes through. I need to figure that one out. This one right here, however, crosses at 4. So I know x equals 4. However, since it just touches, we have what's called a multiplicity of 2, which we've actually seen before. Multiplicity of 2. Now this means that it occurs twice in our function. So if we were writing it out with factors, we would see x minus 4 and x minus 4. And we'd have one other factor along with it, but we don't know what that one is. So once again, we're going to use synthetic division twice to figure out that other factor. So let's set it up. Since our root is x equals 4, and has a multiplicity of 2, we're going to do synthetic division with the 4 twice. So 4 goes here, we get 7, negative 61, 152, and negative 80. Let's go through our steps of synthetic division. Let's bring down the 7. And 4 times 7 is 28. That leaves me with negative 33 when I add those two. 4 times negative 33 gives me negative 132. When I add these, this gives me 20. 4 times 20 is 80. And I'm left with 0 as my remainder. So I'm left here with 7x squared minus 33x plus 20. Now, since it was a multiplicity of 2, I'm going to divide this one again by the x minus 4. I'm going to use the 4 in my little box here. Do synthetic division once again. So I have a 7, negative 33, and a 20. Bring down the 7. And 4 times 7 gives me 28. Add those together, I get negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. I get 0 for my remainder. So I have 7x minus 5. Now that's my other factor. If I want to find my root, which is what it asked for, it asked for all the roots, well, I know I have this one up here, x equals 4 with a multiplicity of 2, so there's 2 of them. My other one, I need to set this equal to 0, so I got to set this guy equal to 0 and solve. So 7x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5. 7x equals 5. So I get x equals 5 over 7. So x equals 4, x equals 4, and x equals 5 over 7 would be my 3 answers for this problem.